Hello, everybody. The Army of Light Earth Division, the boots on the ground. Shawna L. Francis here, and today is February 5th, 2026. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. I am channeling Jesus these days. Jesus came in with a message today, and I will get right into that, talking about the new world order that he says is happening right now, right underneath our noses. Now, we've seen some of our world leaders talk about the New World Order, the World Economic Forum. They get together and talk about these things, and all kinds of other big assembled leaders who talk about where is Earth heading, what do they want to see for Earth, more of the globalization of us as a planet. And of course, if you know that this world is being run by a negative reptilian regime, not of Earth, not humanity. If you've been watching my videos, you'll know that these guys are not really acting in the best interest of humanity. They are actually actors on this world stage serving the dark agenda of the negative reptilians. All right, so I'm going to get into that. But before I do that, I want to just say, hey guys, we reached a milestone tonight. This is our 500th video. I've put out 500 videos. This is number 500. And also, just in the last 2 weeks, we went above 500,000 views for the channel. So we have a huge amount of content, most of it centered on the negative reptilian regime. And our guides say that this is the largest repository of information about the negative reptilian regime on the planet today. Right here, Shawna L. Francis, channeling this to you guys. The Army of Light Earth Division is a very special group. These are not channelings for the masses. These are messages that are meant for a very specific group of people. If you're watching this, if you are drawn to the frequencies that we are emitting here and this is resonating with you, then you are in the right place. Yeah, it's a very unique group. It's actually kind of mind-boggling even for me. It means that over the last 6 years since I launched this channel, I had put out a video every 4 to 5 days. And that's with taking 9 months off this last year before coming in with Jesus. For those of you who don't know and may be new to the channel, I did 132 channelings with the Galactic Federation of Light, including Commander Ashtar, early on in my in this YouTube channel. 132. And then there were the daily Ascension updates where I continued to do more Galactic Federation of Light interviews. I had 105 daily videos that I had made, 105. I also channeled the late Queen Elizabeth for 44 sessions and made videos about that. I had weekly briefings, 71 of them. A lot of that would have been the Order of Melchizedek, Metatron. There was a few Cryon videos there, and Bashar even had come in. And then we did Decoding the Living Word. We dissected with the Order of Melchizedek, Genesis and Revelation, the book of Revelation. Over 6 months, I made a video every week, 26 videos on the Bible, decoding all that we're talking about now with Jesus even. The time of tribulation, the Antichrist, the false prophet, all of these things. We have dug in. We have rolled up our sleeves. We have gone deep with this information. Deep. And we're finding ourselves really in a new place here, in a new phase with disclosure. And for this particular group who watches these videos, we are really ready to embody Christ consciousness and be the beacons of light with that consciousness for the rest of the planet. We're the tip of the spear. We are leading the charge here. And Jesus walking with us as equals, as partners. We are Jesus' shepherds and the flock all at the same time, walking this path of light. So nice. It's so nice to be here, guys. And even with all the crazy stuff that's going on the planet, it's a beautiful time because it's everything that we've talked about for the last 5-6 years coming to light. All the dark, disgusting, crud that's been hidden behind locked doors and underground caverns and remote islands. All of this is coming to the surface now to be seen. It's a reckoning. Thank you. Finally, we can understand what's been going on here. All of this needs to come to light. Okay, here's Jesus today, guys. Here's what Jesus had to say. All right. The dawn of a new age, it is here. It has arrived, dear ones. No more waiting. The sun is rising. It is illuminating all the deep, dark shadows, bringing to the surface that which must be seen to be believed. No longer can humanity be in denial. No longer can humanity turn a blind eye, look the other way, and pretend like none of this is happening. The time of tribulation, you are living it, dear ones. The Antichrist, previously named through our channel, Shawna, by the order of Melchizedek, around this time last year. Same for the false prophet. The quote-unquote New World Order is rising rapidly as to almost give whiplash, Jesus said today. While humanity suffers at the awe and dismay at what is unfolding before each of you, critical infrastructure is being laid quietly under the radar. This is not to help support the masses, families, children, the vulnerable. This new structure is meant to squeeze and control humanity. The New World Order and the tactics that go along with it will be sold to humanity as progress, as a lifeline, as stability and simplicity. It will appear as though it's providing structure in the midst of all this chaos. Be sure in your knowing that this new infrastructure has not been created by humans on behalf of the greater good of humanity. Decisions being made behind closed doors without due process, without democracy, will soon be made manifest. The breaking down of all infrastructure, old and new, will happen in stages. And this process won't necessarily be linear. You may see what appears to be progress in some areas and then complete degradation in other areas. And then in a few years, the same places that seem to have made progress will break down. And in the areas that seem to be degraded will appear to become more positive. This will be quite confusing to the populace, dear ones, and it is meant to be confusing. This will all help keep hope alive. I want to assure you, however, that all is happening as prophesied, as expected, for these times. These are the times of tribulation. And through the confusion, the chaos, the control systems, consciousness will indeed continue to expand. Frequencies will continue to speed up. And even the new systems that were sold to humanity as positive progress will disintegrate. And then the real light work can begin. All right, I'll pause there real quick. I just have another couple paragraphs here. Starts and stops with the failing, the falling, crumbling of the infrastructures that are in place now that have been built in fear, meant to manipulate, control. It sounds to me like we're going to have yet another wave. Like these initial infrastructures will crumble with the New World Order. There will be new infrastructures, and many folks might think, oh, finally, the light is winning. We now have these incredibly simple, wonderful, progressive things in place now, and this must be, where we're headed with the ascension. But Jesus is saying, not so quick. This is actually going to come in stages. There's going to be new things put in place that will be sold as progress. Really, it's not. It's meant to squeeze and control humanity. So it's just going to be kind of like this back and forth, where it's going to seem really great and then it's not. So there's going to be a level of patience that's really needed, and understanding that this is a big process that we're going through, and it's going to take some time, coming in stages, he says. What might you do, dear shepherds, during this time? I mentioned recently that the next 3 to 4 months are critical for knowing yourselves as beacons, as way showers in these dark moments. This continues to be your focus, dear ones. Gentleness and tenderness, compassion and kindness, presence within the field of love, action through the heart. And as a group, we look tyranny in the eye with the purest of love. Once again, dear shepherds, as your collective team of guides, we ask that you refrain from engaging with social and other media. And I use the word engaging purposefully. You are not a passive observer of social media content or news content. You're not a passive observer of the music you listen to, the television series or movies that you watch, the commercials that you see. There is an energetic exchange happening, sometimes subtle, sometimes not so subtle. Resist the urge to dip even a toe into these frequencies. There's so much you can be doing with your very precious time and energy, dear ones. Please resist the temptation to be immersed in the field of mass media subjugation. This dear one here is asking about user-generated content that is not created or distributed by larger news agencies. That was me. I was thinking that as Jesus was channeling. He says here, this content can be just as damaging, as many users who create content are indeed immersed in this field of subjugation. Many do not understand the bigger picture dynamics at work, so inadvertently help further this nefarious agenda. A gentle reminder, dear shepherds, that you already know yourselves as sovereign and free, capable and willing to make your own personal choices that are in alignment with the light work that you chose to do on the planet at this time. I'll say it one more time. A gentle reminder, dear shepherds, that you already know yourselves as sovereign and free, capable and willing to make your own personal choices that are in alignment with the light work that you chose to do on the planet at this time. Know yourselves as empowered with the food you choose to eat, the beverages you choose to drink, the content you choose to consume, the thoughts that you have, the actions you take, and the presence that you hold. Dear ones, also know yourselves in choice with the pain that you continue to carry, the guilt and the remorse and the shame with which you continue to identify. Also, how you choose to distract yourself, how you regard the one who looks back at you reflected in a mirror. Exercise your freedom, dear ones, your freedom of choice. Allow this gentle reminder to carry you through the chaos of the next few months. This expression will serve you well with the times still yet to come. I am Jesus. We walk together as equals on this incredible path of light. at once shepherds and the flock. The Lamb, such a beautiful, innocent creature, delivering Christ consciousness and the power to transform and recreate this shared level of expression in love. With that, blessings and infinite love to you each. All right. Jesus' message. Okay, so he is going so far as to label kind of the big energy, the big narrative being perpetuated on all of our platforms as the field of subjugation, or the field of mass media subjugation. And he also clarified that even folks who, like, this has been my guilty thing here that I've been doing recently, is so many people now are looking at all the Epstein files that were just dropped. And so it's just, my YouTube channel's flooded with this kind of thing. When I pull it up, that's the algorithm pulling that up for me. And so I've been watching these little snippets. And it's so hard. It's incredibly hard to understand what's there and what all has happened. And it's easy to, like for me, to get frustrated. Why aren't there arrests? How could there be millions and millions of pieces of evidence and then nobody's getting arrested? Nobody's being charged. Well, there's just not enough evidence to charge, So anyway, I've been kind of wrapped around a little bit with this stuff, and they're encouraging me, stop, put the phone down. There's plenty of other wonderful things you can be doing. And I have a big to-do list, of things I want to get done. And here I am, death scrolling on YouTube with the Epstein file stuff. So we really don't want to do that. And I'm guilty of it myself. I've got to stop. It's not helping anything. We know what this is about. We know the bigger picture. So we just need to be careful that any kind of content we're watching online, it's continuing to perpetuate an energy. It's a field of energy that we're tapping into. And they're saying, just even resist putting a toe into that. Don't even dip a toe into that field. And so again, I'm guilty of it. I need to stop. Okay. So this will be a process. Remember too, we talked about the book of Revelation. We talked about the fall of Babylon. We talked about the Antichrist and the false prophet through the lens of book of Revelation. There's, you can go back to any of those old videos and use AI if you wish to summarize the video. So you don't have to rewatch those videos if you've already seen them, but you can go and just have, YouTube summarize that video for you. And I think that would be a good reminder of really where we're at right now and just how incredible this time is. And remember, team, we all chose to be here at this time. We wanted to do this. Try to remember that. Also remember that even though the suffering is real, it is truly a grand stage. We are here learning lessons. We're balancing karma. We're doing these incredible missions. We don't want to take the 3D illusion too serious. Keep your eye on the prize, guys. That's what we want to do here. All right. I think that's really everything that I wanted to talk about today. Again, guys, it's our 500th video. I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. Hit the like button. Let me know in the comments how long you've been watching and what are some of your more memorable videos or information that's come up, whether it be through the GFL or through Melchizedek or any of the other folks that we have channeled, Queen Elizabeth perhaps. I'm trying to get more visibility for the Queen Elizabeth stuff. I've been putting out some shorts if you've been seeing that, but it's not really doing much work there. I don't know, not really helping. But anyway, we're going to continue to hammer on this. And thanks to everybody who came to the live meditation with Jesus Sunday before last. That was a beautiful turnout and so powerful, so heart-opening, so life-affirming. If you missed that, it is posted on my channel. You can do that at any time, and I'm sure get all kinds of benefit. All right, guys. Thanks again for being here. I love each of you so much. And until next time, take care. Mwah.